All right, so I'm a 32-year-old dad, and I recently decided I'm going to run a marathon, which happens to be 6 months and a week away. I've never ran over 5 or 6 miles at one time, so the thought of doing that 5 more times plus an extra mile, 1.2 miles, the thought of that is insane. That just is a crazy thought. But I started getting in shape sometime in the middle of December. And since then, I've lost about 30 pounds. I was 320 pounds. And yeah, I've come a long way. Not where I want to be. Ideally, I would be somewhere at the very least, I guess at the very most, it would be 250 pounds. And then ideally, I'd like to be somewhere between 235 and like 225. But I started off just lifting weights. And then about a month ago, I decided I wanted to start jogging on a treadmill because I wanted to get in better shape for basketball, because I play pickup basketball on Saturdays with some friends from time to time. And I was really getting sick of being gassed after jogging around for an hour or two, like genuinely jogging. And so I figured I would just get into better shape by running on a treadmill, and that has slowly evolved into I kind of want to run a marathon. And it's something I've talked about in the past and just never committed to. And I'm changing that this year's the year. And I kind of want to document the journey. I think part of it's because I'm terrified, and I think part of it's because I just want to be able to look back and see where I've been and where I've come from and where I'm going. Right, little dude? Yeah. 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 There's a part of me that wants to be really, really healthy and really in shape for myself. There's a part of me that wants to do it for my kids and for my wife. And then there's a part of me that just wants to know, at 32, what can I accomplish at this age? I come from like a sports background, and so at 32 years old, you're like on the downhill, in terms of like high level competitive sports, or you're at the tail end of your prime, which is true if you're like a football, basketball, baseball, soccer player. I'm sure that's true, but and maybe it's true when it comes to like running and marathons. I have no idea. I've never ran, but the fact I don't feel as old as people make it sound, and I'm not one of those people that wants to like fight age and pretend that I'm younger than I am. I don't care about all that. I just want to be super healthy. I think another reason I'm documenting this is I really don't know much about nutrition outside of like get your protein in. I do make homemade sourdough bread. I started my own starter in like January, and have been making homemade sourdough bread ever since. And so that's where I get the majority of my carbs. I really don't eat any other carbs unless it's like protein ice cream, which I buy from the store from time to time. Yeah. Yes. Let them know. But yeah, it's really just sourdough bread. I don't really eat rice or anything like that. I will from time to time, but it's very rare. Last night, I don't really eat pasta. I had pasta last night for the first time in a month. Really? That you got all this to say? You were quiet this entire time, and then I start recording, and you have something to say? That's okay, Joe. Let the world know. Let the world know. Let the world know. I'm 6'4". I wear a size 15 shoe. I'm wearing Nike. What are they called? I read it earlier to make sure I knew. Nike Reacts Infinity Run 4s. That's what I wear to run and walk in, and I wear those all the time because they were free. But I wear a size 15 shoe, and I've looked for running shoes before. Size 15 running shoes, and I didn't find any at the Nike outlet store that we have. I don't know if there's another running shoe I should be looking for, but also I don't want to spend $150 or $200 on a shoe. You want to come outside? My daughter wants to come outside. They're done watching Wildcats. 1 second. Now, truth be told, it probably doesn't matter because I'm not in deep into running like that. Maybe I will be after this marathon, but I have no idea. Oh my goodness. I have no idea what training. Yeah. Okay. I have no idea like what my training regimen should look like. I'll tell you what I do. I go to a gym that has 2 hours of childcare. I drop my kids off at the childcare for 2 hours. I lift for anywhere between 45 minutes to an hour, and then I run anywhere between 30 minutes to an hour afterwards. I'm a treadmill princess. I do not run outside currently. I should, and I like running outside. It's just with 3 kids, being a stay-at-home dad, I have responsibilities. So there's that. I guess I could get up early, but my kids are real young. And so as soon as, I don't know if they have like this 8th sense where like they just, 9th sense, I don't know, how many senses do we have? I don't even know. I don't know if they have another sense that allows them to just wake up when you wake up, but it doesn't matter if it is 2 in the morning. It doesn't matter if it's 11 o'clock in the morning. Anytime, like you move, they wake up within like 15 minutes. It's insanity. So I haven't really ran outside because of that reason. I would love to be able to separate when I lift and when I run. But that doesn't seem very feasible at the time. I guess I could take a running stroller, but the running stroller that we have is kind of janky, and it was free, and it is also just a 2-seater, and I have 3 kids. So we did look at like a potential running stroller that you wrap around your hips for this little guy. But they're like $700, so not doing that. Yeah, I don't know, my nutrition, I try to eat between 2,800 and 3,000 calories a day, or I have been. That's what I was doing before I started running. And then I started running and my hunger like skyrocketed. So I don't know if I should be eating a little bit more or if it's just I need to get used to running. I have no idea. I don't know what I'm doing. I think that's one of the reasons I'm starting to record all this is I'm early enough into running that I'm like just looking up stuff and researching stuff and watching videos on stuff and really enjoying this kind of process. I imagine in the next month or two, I'm going to get into the area where I'm like, this is kind of overwhelming. There's a lot of information and I've been doing this for a few months and I'm kind of annoyed with it and bored. And then I'm going to have to like really lock in with the discipline side of it. And then the final 3 months, I imagine, are going to be, it's exciting time because I'm leading up to my marathon. And then I've already had the thought process of like, what happens after you complete a marathon? What do you do next? My throat. I don't know. I don't stinking know. But I don't know. It gives me a goal to work towards. I want to lose more weight, so I imagine if I run more, I will. And maybe along the way, I'll learn more about nutrition. Because right now, my nutrition consists of making sure I hit my protein, eating some level of carbs. I don't really track how much I'm eating in terms of carbs right now. I have ballpark estimates of how much. I do weigh out my sourdough bread for the most part. There are days where I don't, but I've cut enough sourdough bread to have a general idea of like ranges of where I'm in. So I know I'm eating somewhere between, I upped my calories between I'm probably 3,200 and like 3,500 right now. And I eat that, meat, and like a protein shake every day. Like fish and meat and stuff. I should probably throw in vegetables or something, but I hate vegetables. Preparing them stinks. They taste horrible, in my opinion. They don't taste horrible. Not all of them. I really should. I just don't want to do it. But I don't know. Consider this entry 1. I think I'll start taking the camera with me when I go on runs. Or like record a little bit at like the gym when I do treadmill stuff. I very rarely record myself lifting weights. That is just incredibly awkward. It's awkward enough on the treadmill, At the very least, I can set it in front of me, and I'm like on the treadmill. You don't really see anybody else. But being a being any kind of like YouTube personality where you are going out in public, I gotta tip my hat because that is. I feel so awkward. I feel awkward right now, and I'm in my own backyard. So, yeah, October 25th, 2026 will be my first marathon. And I know there are people out there that are like, oh, dude, my goal is to do sub 4 hours or sub 3 hours or whatever the case. I'm on team, let's finish. You know what I mean? Let's start and finish and go from there.